Welcome back to Get Coins or Die Trying. I'm HazyRome, the mayor of Hype City, and I'm joined by DeepBoyce, the prime minister of post-production. And we're here to rank the top 5 games and trailers we've seen from Paris Games Week 2017. DeepBoyce, Sony's been holding it down in Paris Games Week, showing off a ton of titles, giving 0 release dates, but we're not going to focus on that, man. We're going to focus on the top 5 trailers, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, listen, it was overall rather positive. It was a lot of stuff that we saw in there that we liked, but we kind of ironed it down to, like you said, the top 5 or just 5 of the ones that we really enjoyed the most.
Word, man. At number 5, we're talking about some Shadow of the Colossus. Now, DeepBoyce is going to be a hater. I know he's going to hate on this. Because DeepBoyce doesn't have any type of emotional attachment to this game. I don't know how. This game is a fantastic game.
Listen, I played it on stream like years after it came out. But I'm just saying, why not a sequel? Why not, another one in this series? But people really like this game, and they're remastering it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that blew my mind was how good it was. I mean, I think it's supposed to be somewhat of a remake. Think of it more in the vein of Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. That's what I think it's supposed to be, where it's kind of like a hybrid of a remake and a remaster. It's not supposed to be a re-envisioning. It's supposed to be kind of like, making the graphics look a little bit better, but not necessarily just taking the old engine and just smoothing things out. Yeah. But I was like, when I saw that trailer, and it included some gameplay where you see the main character about to take on one of the Colossi, and I was like, yo, like, this looks pretty damn good, bro. Like, I was like, it threw me off guard. Like, I didn't expect to see it look that freaking good, man.
Yeah. Honestly, it is a welcome return. It is a welcome return for the fans, and I think we're comfortable with being peppered with some remakes and some, remasters of games that we're fond of here and there, because sometimes I guess hardware limitations don't allow us to play some of those games that we love on current consoles. So for the chance to play it again after not having played it, or for people to become acquainted with it for the first time, it's not a bad move.
Yeah, man. And the controls for it when it first came out, like, after playing it, like trying to play it like later on in life, it hasn't aged well at all. So hopefully they update the controls so it's a little bit more to like the modern schemes of gaming, man. The modern standards of gaming. But we'll see. But at number 4, DeepBoyce, I'm going to let you do this one because you opened up my mind. I didn't even know about this, man.
We're talking about, at number 4, the Hong Kong Massacre, which is a game that is, I guess the best way to describe it is a mix between Hotline Miami and almost Max Payne. It also seems to be in the same vein of a lot of John Woo movies, particularly Hard Boiled and I guess Infernal Affairs. Off the top of my head, I don't remember if that was a John Woo movie or not, but it deals with basically just the increase in crime in China, particularly dealing with the triads, and we don't have too many details as to what's going on with the main character or many the story arc or the narrative that we're going to be going through. But
it seems like it got like some cinematic trailers, right? Like some cinematic cutscenes, right?
Yeah, it does. We're not sure. Again, I'm not sure if you play as a cop or if you play as someone that's out to seek revenge because of some personal tragedy you experience, or maybe you're also a triad member yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. But it looked pretty damn good, man. Like, Hotline Miami is a dope game. Like, I personally never had any urge to play it, but I kind of like the somewhat more realistic visuals of the Hong Kong Massacre. On to number 3, we've got Ghosts of Tsushima. Did I pronounce that right? Tell me I pronounced that right.
I think it's Tsushima.
Nobody
pronounces it in the trailer, so I'm not really sure. But
how did I pronounce it? Did I say Tsushima?
Tsushima.
Damn, I did like the cardinal sin of pronouncing something that starts with a T and has an S right after. Like, the T is definitely silent. It is definitely Tsushima.
No, Tsushima, Tsushima, Tsunami, Tsunami.
See, I read it like a hood girl's name. Yo. I was like Tashana. I was like, yo, Ghosts of Tsushima. Like I messed that one up. I'm sorry. Ghosts of Tsushima.
That sounds like a good game right there. Ghosts of Tsushima.
Hey, yo. Yeah, man. Your main weapon is some marijuana leaves. some cocaine dust to blind your enemies. You know, it's like Batman when he throw down the pellets instead of like smoke, just cocaine dust just pops up and they like poof. Everybody just starts inhaling it.
Now,
Yeah,
this is the premise of Ghosts of Tsushima, right? So she's a legendary spit player, spit the card game, but she suffered an accident where she can't use her hands. You know, it's like Doctor Strange. But she goes to some strange lands to develop a new technique and is able to come back and become a beast. Ghost of Tsushima.
She goes to some strange lands like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and she learns the ways of the people up there, man. And they teach her how to play not just spit, but other games like Hearts,
Word,
and Solitaire.
Nice.
And she becomes a more well-rounded person. Ghosts of Tsushima, everybody. But I was like a long tangent. Ghosts of Tsushima, people. Number 3. Mm-hmm. Sucker Punch is back, baby. Like, Sucker Punch has been gone for mad long. We haven't seen them since Infamous Second Son, which was a good game, but I think me and you both agree. Well, you didn't play the other 2 Infamous games. You played one of them, right?
I played the first one and I played Second Son.
Okay, so you haven't played all 3 of the games. I can easily say that Second Son was the weaker of the 3 games. But Sucker Punch is still like a super talented developer. Infamous Second Son was not bad by any means. It was actually a really good game. It just wasn't better than the first 2. But seeing them come back with a samurai game that I believe is gonna be open world, I was like, yo, like that completely. That's another game that just I did not expect, especially coming from Sucker Punch. You know, a lot of people thought it might have been like Onimusha or something like that, but I'm not. While I would love to see another Onimusha, I'm not necessarily upset with the new IP either.
Yeah,
especially like a samurai IP.
I'm very glad that this seems to be more grounded, and it's ninjas. I mean, the main character looks like he's dressed up as a ninja, so I wouldn't be surprised if they are ninjas. And also there are obviously samurai involved. I mean. You know, when I play like a game like Ninja Gaiden at the beginning, you're basically fighting against other ninjas, and then obviously it gets into much more crazy, over the top things. But I always wanted something that was kind of like this, where it seems like I guess it's more like Tenchu Stealth Assassin in terms of it being grounded. But even that game kind of was way out
Tenchu.
There with some of its things. But you know, if it's got dope combat, it looks great. If it's gonna look great the way that we saw in that trailer. And it really brings in a compelling story, and it's kind of dark as well in terms of the content. I mean, I'm 110% for that.
Yeah, man, and thinking about what Sucker Punch could bring to the table with like an open world game. I mean, the first thing I thought, with you saying the main character might be a ninja. I mean, parkour, man, like that's par for the course with like a Sucker Punch game, man. There's got to be some type of like. Running mechanic and building, jumping, and things like that. That would be pretty high. I mean, obviously, he's not going to have the scale of, like, cities or anything like that and wherever the game takes place. But, I think that, having parkour, and I'm interested to see what they do with the combat, too, because, I mean, the melee combat in Infamous wasn't, like, anything to, phone home about. Like, it was cool. Like, the abilities you had was cool, but this definitely is going to be a little bit different in terms of, like, the weapons you have at your disposal. I didn't really get any inclination that there's going to be any type of superpowers or anything in this, but I suppose that's entirely possible. It didn't seem supernatural. It seemed grounded, like you said. But I know it was only cinematics, man, but just like I said, it's the prospect of Sucker Punch, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why we didn't have it any higher, because we didn't see any gameplay and just out of principle, I guess.
Right. And, for me, I think about other Sony developers. I'm like, yo, like when Naughty Dog got to do The Last of Us, when Guerrilla Games got to do Horizon Zero Dawn, it's like both two developers that you didn't expect something like that to come from, something like those 2 games to come from, and they blew it out of the park. They hit it out of the park. And Sucker Punch has been, like I said, they've been silent since the PS4 dropped and Infamous Second Son came out, around that window. So it's dope to see them back, man. It's dope to see them back. But speaking of coming back, number 2, DeepBoyce. This is a game that I didn't find out until I talked with like you and our friends. Yeah. But I played it and I love it, man.
Guacamelee dos.
Drinkbox Studio is also back, man.
Yeah, I mean it's a game. The first Guacamelee, I think it was PS Vita. It's a PS Vita game, wasn't it?
It definitely came out on PS Vita. I think it also came out on PS3, and I think it came out on PS4 as well. It definitely is on PS4.
Yeah.
And definitely on Vita. And I believe it was on PS3 as well. All three of them.
Yeah, it was one of those indie games. It was I guess around a time where Sony was really kind of experimenting with the whole indie I guess movement, and then eventually they started really adopting it and putting out some solid titles. But Guacamelee was a really dope, inventive, vibrant art style, fun to play, I guess side scrolling beat 'em up Metroidvania type of game. I know that's a lot of different descriptions right there, but it was a really it was a really fun
but that's
game.
what it was though. Yeah. You keeping it above 50. That's how it was. That's what it was.
Yeah, and it was a game that it was just a joy to play. There was really not a negative thing that I could say about that first game, and I'm extremely happy that they actually decided to kind of come back with a Guacamelee 2. We don't really know entirely what they're going to bring to the table with this one. We saw little bits of gameplay, but I wouldn't be surprised if they really kind of revamp the multiplayer aspect of this, and of course, just bigger and bolder in terms of the world and the characters and whatever it is that we're going up against.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Guacamelee came on like every damn platform under the damn sun. Like it was on Windows, it was on Linux, it was on Mac, it was on PS3, PS4, PlayStation Vita, Wii U, Xbox 360, Xbox One. They just released it on everything under the freaking sun. But it first came out on PS3 and PlayStation Vita. But like you said, man, the coolest thing to me about it was like the fact that you could do like different wrestling moves based on like butt input combinations. So it wasn't just like you just punching and doing melee. Like you are deadass doing like combos to people and stuff like not combos, but you're doing like suplexes and different types of wrestling moves and things like that in the midst of the game. And just it was like I think Drinkbox Studios, they're known for making like ridiculously colorful games, and that game was mad beautiful, and the music, the soundtrack for the game was phenomenal, man. Like it just had like I don't know, it just had like a very South American, Central American, musical inspiration to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think Drinkbox Studios like hit it out of the park. And like don't get me wrong, like Severed, got great reviews. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. Like I was hyped to see Severed, but I was like, part of me was like, damn, like I wish they would make Guacamelee 2. And just seeing that they were making this, I heard no rumors about this, like it just came out of nowhere. I'm down for that, man. A little sad it's not coming to Vita though. I think it's only coming right now. I think the confirmed console, as we're recording this, I think the confirmed console is PS4. But
do you think?
I mean, apparently it's also gonna have 4-player co-op. So holla at your boy. I'm gonna be playing that. I'm gonna be playing that co-op, baby. That's gonna be hype. That's gonna be hype, man. But on to numero uno. DeepBoyce, hit him with number 1, baby.
It's drum roll, please.
DeepBoyce is
It is Marvel's Spider-Man.
Damn, you drawing this out, my man.
Marvel
on, man. My tongue damn near broke out of my mouth.
Marvel's Spider-Man.
You want to say that like someone from the planet Earth now, man?
No. Because we all know I'm not from planet Earth. But Marvel Spider-Man is our number 1, I guess, game from Sony's Paris Week conference.
Yeah, Paris Games Week, man. It's Spider-Man, dude. Like, if you know us, we do a YouTube channel called Spectacular Spoiler League, youtube.com/Spectacular Spoiler League. Like, we huge comic book fans, man. Like, Spider-Man is just looking great. Like, Insomniac needs to stop teasing us. They need to stop playing games. They need to drop that game yesterday, bro. Like, I'm excited that a villain like Mr. Negative is getting some shine. Like, I'm excited to have characters like Wilson Fisk, freaking Miles Morales, MJ. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like when I first looked at the game, the character models kind of left a little bit to be desired because you're just seeing all these fantastic games, especially at Paris Games Week. Like you see all these fantastic looking games, like graphically speaking, like The Last of Us and Detroit Become Human graphically look phenomenal. But it still looks good. Like in a vacuum, like I went back and watched the trailer by itself, and I was like, yo, I'm feeling this.
Yeah,
I'm feeling this.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. Us receiving a Spider-Man game or just
a good one too.
a good one, or just a good superhero game. And I'm excited that I think it's a cool studio who they have a proven track record, and it seems like they're really putting a lot of effort and a lot of attention to detail in the Spider-Man game. And I really like that it seems like they're showcasing the narrative and the story of this game, and there are a lot of elements that are super interesting that we kind of also talk about in another video that we did, where we just kind of exclusively, we have a few takeaways on this trailer from Paris Games Week.
Check that out.
Show support.
Linked as a card in the video.
Yes, sir. But honestly, again, this is one of those games where I'm just like, I needed to come out yesterday. I really want to get my hands on this. I want to see it. I can't see into the future, but I have very good feelings, really good vibes about what we're going to get out of this game. And when you get games like this, you always hope that more superhero properties come along the way in terms of video games out there,
It's, that's true. That's true. Because we've got, Batman's got an Arkham, Spider-Man's now, getting his shine. Like, we want to see the point where, like, a game like Daredevil gets made. I mean, we've talked about this, before, but we would love to see like a superhero game, integrated with the Nemesis system or something like that from Shadow of Mordor. And we know WB Games, they got the rights to at least Batman, so I'm assuming they're gonna be able to do some more DC games. So it'd be dope to see, like, imagine going through a game where a character has like a huge rogues gallery, and or even if they just made up villains, and the villain that kills you, when or stops you, and when you come back, like, that said villain has risen through the ranks, and you had the crime in that city that the game takes place in has now been affected by that specific villain. Like, the Nemesis system plus superhero game equals me busting all types of things all over the place.
And shooting ropes.
You know what I'm saying? Shooting strings, man. Shooting ropes, as you say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be that's best there, man.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man numero uno.
And the thing that I'll say is, I mean, this seems almost like a movie trailer in the way that they kind of shape it.
That's true. And especially thematically, when you see, like, Spider-Man question whether or not, the city even needs him as Spider-Man, which is, obviously he's gonna be needed. But, that being said, man, it looks dope. But to wrap things up, DeepBoyce, aka Stizzle Stock, sign us out, baby.
Yes. Bonjour, au revoir from Paris. Thank you very much. We're signing out with some French croissants in hand. Paris holding it down. Sony holding it down. Thank you, guys. Leave a comment and a like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Thanks, man. I didn't know you were so cultured, sir.
Thank you.
Listen, speaking Francais.
Listen, I'm a Renaissance man.
Hey, man. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. I'm about to send your ass back to Renaissance, man.
Listen, I'll thrive like Ezio Auditore. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna drive those people insane like you got me crazy, man. We'll see you guys in the next one, y'all.